Good, happy Saturday afternoon, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. It's February 27, 2021. We got a lot of news to get to this Saturday afternoon, so let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with a check of your weather. It is rain right now and 33 degrees. With more on that weather forecast, let's go to meteorologist Denise Isaac from NBC 10 Boston and NECN.
How you doing, folks? Joey Kia, the deal maker here. When we say come on down to Nashua Kia and we'll make a deal, some people think that we're playing games. And you know what? That's not always a bad thing. Because of the other guys, buying a vehicle isn't always fun, but it can be. At Nashua Kia, we're not afraid to be different. We'll take the stress out of the situation and work it out together. Where else are you going to go to get up to $5,000 more for your trade and drive away in a new Kia? Nowhere. All games aside, when you come to Nashua Kia, I'm really here. And I'll do whatever it takes to earn your business, even if it costs me money.
NBC 10 Boston, Boston's most accurate forecast, certified by Weather Rate.
All right, here's the thing, Jeff. We've been talking about spring being right around the corner, but behind me it looks like winter.
Right. Well, you know this happens every single March and April. You know, we think, oh, yeah, it's going to get warmer, and then, snowflakes remind us. I remember last year we had snow in May. Snowflakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for reminding us. I thought we were getting there.
Yeah.
With Sullivan's opening, Denise, hot dogs.
You're in New England, Catherine. What do you expect?
Right.
I know.
You know, the transition time goes up, it goes down. And at least today, temperatures will be on the rise. Right now it's 33 in Boston, so not too bad. But we are tracking those snow showers. Some places decreasing in intensity, others we're seeing it picking up, some big snowflakes as well. And actually, this data indicating that we even have some sleet now in Boston. The visibility is down to 3 miles. The wind is out of the southeast between 5 to 15 miles per hour, a little stronger there in Nantucket. That's where wind speeds will ramp up this afternoon with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Wind chill values are in the 20s in Bedford, Worcester, Boston as well, while 33 is what it feels like in New Bedford and Plymouth. So as we're heading out, these are the temperatures we have to dress for. We have perfect visibility down in the South Shore where it's rain right now, but where we're seeing snow, we're down to a mile in Bedford, mile and a quarter in Lawrence, and just half a mile in Concord and Rochester. This is where the snow continues to fall. Some deeper blues near the lakes region here, indicating some moderate heavy snow at times. But look at this. At least the transition line here, the wintry mix, that's expected to continue to move north, getting closer to Hull and then eventually into Boston. So where we had some snow this morning, eventually we'll all transition to rain. Exactly when do we transition to rain in Boston? Well, between 10 and 11 a.m. So 11:15, according to our exclusive forecast system here, it's now raining in Boston. The same for Framingham, while Haverhill and Portsmouth, you are seeing that at least wintry mix. By 5:15, light showers from Plymouth all the way to the Cape and the Islands. But inland, we tend to dry out with temperatures in the 40s. And then tonight, partial clearing. It will be a fine night early to go out and just enjoy some outdoor dining, even admire that full moon. Today's forecast calls for that wintry mix, temperatures in the 40s, closer to 50 degrees in the south coast. Tonight, into the 20s we go in Jaffrey, but 30s elsewhere. It will be a cool night, but not as cold as this morning. And then tomorrow, it's looking to stay pretty much between 45 to 49 degrees with a south flow. So there's a system moving to our south tomorrow that could trigger some light rain showers for areas south of the Mass Pike between 2 and 5. But then another wave comes through areas of northern New England. So that will bring at least a potential for rain, snow over the Lakes region and Vermont. By Monday, a strong cold front moves through, snow squalls possible in the North Country and then eventually even closer to Boston. And behind that front, look how cold it gets on Tuesday, 32 degrees. Some areas may stay stuck in the upper 20s, and with the wind gusting to 40, yes, that day is really cold. Wednesday, sunshine is back, and by Thursday, highs near 50. Back to you.
Well, that sounds good, Denise. Thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that weather video from Denise Isaac from NBC and NECN. And now let's get to your news. First up, murder warrant secured for Mr. Pan in connection to a Yale grad student shooting. Police have secured an arrest warrant for the murder of a man who was previously wanted for connection to a death of a Yale graduate student earlier this month. With more on that, let's take a listen to this video from NBC Connecticut News.
Somewhere out there, a woman is waiting. Her world just stopped, and she hopes for a miracle. Back at the lab, you believe you have that miracle. At Development Insights, we understand the human side of life science. That's why we help scientists move their product through clinical trials, regulatory hurdles, and developing partnerships, all the way from promising to approved. Development Insights, because the world is waiting.
And we begin your news at 6 with breaking news. New Haven police have just named a person of interest in the death of a Yale grad student. And tonight, officers are warning he should be considered armed and dangerous. Good evening. I'm Keisha Grant.
And I'm Mike Heideck. Let's get right to NBC Connecticut's Jamie Ratliff live in New Haven, where police just finished giving an update on this case. Jamie, what are you learning?
Yeah, Mike, Keisha, days after that Yale graduate student was shot and killed here in New Haven, police are now looking for this man. They are calling him a person of interest wanted for questioning for that homicide. The New Haven police have named 29-year-old King Swan Pan as a person of interest and say he is wanted for questioning for the homicide of that Yale grad student. That victim, investigators say, was 26-year-old Kevin Jiang. He was shot and killed on Lawrence Street Saturday night. Police say the person of interest, Pan, was in the area at the time of the homicide. Pan, we're told, is an MIT graduate and has an affiliation with the university and last lived in Malden, Massachusetts. We're told North Haven police came in contact with Pan soon after the homicide and that he was last seen at a Best Western hotel on Washington Avenue in North Haven. Police also have an arrest warrant out for him for a stolen vehicle out of Massachusetts.
I am asking that the public knows that Mr. Pan should be considered armed and dangerous, and that extreme caution should be used if you come in contact with this individual.
Again, police are calling Pan a person of interest. They are not calling him a suspect at this time. They tell us they do not believe that he is currently in Connecticut, but it's something they simply...
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two big main festivals have very different plans for 2021 aimed COVID uncertainty. Let's take a listen to that video from NECN.
We were praying that it would happen.
After getting canceled by the pandemic last spring, Maine Maple Sunday, a day when sugar houses across the state showcase syrup and treats, was back on for the March 27th, 28th weekend.
It's going to be different. We're not going to be doing the samples. We can't allow the visitors to come into our facility, especially our candy kitchen.
Christy Brannon, who owns Spring Break Maple and Honey, says she's
super excited
after a strange, quiet sap season in 2020 that cost businesses like hers thousands.
It was a big letdown emotionally and also financially.
There's little chance that'll happen this year. It's a different story for the Yarmouth Clam Festival.
But I think community-wide there was disappointment, and certainly there's more disappointment this year.
Having hundreds of thousands of people packed on Main Street isn't realistic this summer. For the second time, it's a no-go that will keep people safe.
some things that are bigger than lime rickeys and fried clams.
At a price.
The figures that we use is, between $200,000 and $400,000 sort of lost for nonprofit.
That said, Yarmouth is determined to keep the spirit of the festival around. Tradition matters here, with or without a parade.
Yeah, the chairs will still go out. They went out last year, too. It's the purest form of summer for some people.
While the full Clam Festival isn't coming back for 2021, some select parts of it may return. Think virtual 5K. Exact plans are still being worked out. In Yarmouth, Maine, Dustin Lukowski, NBC 10 Boston.
Over the last 60...
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. A Lowell school board member who used anti-Semitic slur on TV resigns. A school board member in a Massachusetts city has said he is resigning immediately after his use of anti-Semitic slur on live cable television. That school board member, 66 years old, announced his resignation in a Facebook video on Friday. He made the anti-Semitic comment during a live episode of the show City Life, and a video clip of it surfaced on Wednesday. That school board member was a member of the Lowell school community. He said in his resignation video that people should condemn what I said, the Boston Globe reported. City leaders condemned the school board member's use of the slur and had planned to hold a special session to consider a resolution calling him to resign. The director of New England chapter of Anti-Defamation League told the Boston Globe that he welcomed the man's resignation. Free horse therapy program offers first responders peace and relaxation. Let's take a listen to that video from NACN News.
Listen, I don't want to have this much fun, but the rivers need me.
You think we want to sit around all day playing video games? No. But I'm doing it for the rivers.
I'll lay here all day if I have to for the rivers. Giving this much hurts, but it's a small price to pay.
We're not going to sit there and do nothing. We're going to sit here and do something.
For the rivers.
For the rivers.
Drink a Coors Hard Seltzer, help save a river. Each pack restores 500 gallons of river water.
You know, after a tough day at work, some of us like to relax with a glass of wine, maybe some yoga, maybe both. But in New Hampshire, people on the front lines of the pandemic are being given a chance to unwind with therapy horses. NBC 10's Catherine Underwood has that story, and it's new at 5:30.
I hope that they leave here with a sense of peace and relaxation and remember what that feels like.
It's a priceless gift these horses are giving to those on the front lines of the pandemic.
Seeing the toxic stress of what it is doing to those folks that have done so much to help us, this is just a simple way that we can give back.
A free program called Caring Connections invites first responders to spend an uninterrupted hour with the horses at Upreach Therapeutic Equestrian Center in Goffstown.
I can't even put into words. It's just very, very awesome.
Linda Dwyer, who's a nurse, went to Caring Connections as soon as she found out about it.
I mean, they have these big, beautiful eyes, and they're just so gentle, and you just look at them and you start petting them, and just, it seems like the stress just drains right out of you.
And in my experience today, what she says is true.
Wow, it is relaxing, isn't it?
Maybe it's their graceful movements or their trusting nature.
If you stop, who's gonna stop?
Whatever it is, some might even say it's magical.
And so it's super cool to see the transformation from the time someone walks in the door and then just what happens in that 1 hour where they can let go.
These gentle giants doing their part, helping to melt away the weight of a global pandemic.
I mean, we all need a place to go, an activity to do that brings us some relief from the stress. And this, to me, is the best one.
We're now 4 weeks into the program, and about 28 people have already taken advantage of it. But Darcy and his buddies are really hoping to get the word out. They're here for any first responders who might need a break. In Goffstown, New Hampshire, Catherine Underwood, NBC 10 Boston.
Well, it's President's Month, and it's...
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Rhode Island's coronavirus death toll passes 2,500 mark. The number of Rhode Islanders who have died after contracting COVID-19 has passed the 2,500 mark, according to the State Department of Health numbers released on Friday. With 6 more virus-related fatalities Thursday, the state's death toll is now 2,502. This non-profit Vermont ski hill features a movie set from Beetlejuice. Let's take a listen to that video from NECN.
There's no debating it. President's Day weekend is the best time for saving big, and New Hampshire should always be your primary stop for great products with no sales tax.
Save all month long with our President's Day sale. A stainless Whirlpool dishwasher, $5.89, save $40. And a loaded Samsung 58-inch 4K UHD Smart TV, $749.99, save $150.
When it comes to selection and service, State Street Discount is a clear frontrunner.
State Street Discount. All you want.
Vermont is home to the East Coast's largest ski resort, Killington, as well as to some of its most upscale destinations like Stowe, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, in rural Orange County, to one of its thriftiest.
The president gets the same salary as the Little Toe operator. 0.
Welcome to the non-profit, volunteer-run Northeast Slopes in East Corinth.
It's a labor of love to be here and work on this.
It's a place with few luxuries and no snowmaking, but plenty of charm, including, of all things, the movie Beetlejuice. East Corinth is the same town where outdoor scenes were shot in the 80s. The covered bridge the couple crashes through in the beginning. The filmmakers built it. Their set piece now sits at Northeast Slopes, housing an old farm truck. Get this, that truck's engine, rigged to a boat's throttle control, actually powers a rope tow.
Well, you have to hold on tight, and also you have to keep your skis straight.
But not just any rope tow. This is the oldest continuously operating one in North America, from 1936. Skiing was a pretty new sport then, and chairlifts were just being dreamed up. Helmets weren't widespread either, as you can see in this 1950 footage of the rope tow. Fast forward to today, the throwback system remains popular. It uses wheels salvaged from a Model A Ford. While there is a modern T-bar too, kids especially see a real benefit to the original way of getting uphill.
It's so much quicker. You don't get to go up as far, but you can just do so many more runs going on this.
In an era of corporate consolidation at those big resorts, this little community spot is all about making winter sports accessible. A family of 4 can ski here for about half the price of just a single pass at the famous mountains. And skiers and riders are coming. We're told this has been one of the busiest seasons in the nonprofit's 85-year history, likely because the COVID-19 pandemic has sparked renewed interest in outdoor activities close to home.
I think people have been cooped up so long with so little to do.
It's just fine.
Coben Ellsworth doesn't mind there's nothing fancy here, saying at a mega resort he might miss the hometown charm and familiar faces.
Say I'm older and I'm still skiing here. It'll make me smile looking back on that day. just remembering, oh, I remember the first day I went skiing here.
Memories, after all, are in the DNA of Northeast Slopes, a time capsule preserving the way skiing used to be and how it still is. In East Corinth, Vermont, I'm Jack Thurston.
The Subaru of New...
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. House passes $1.9 trillion pandemic bill on near party line vote. The House approved a $1.9 trillion pandemic relief bill early Saturday in a win for President Joe Biden, even as top Democrats tried assuring aggravated progressives that they'd revive their green-light drive to boost the minimum wage. Now that bill will be heading to the Senate, and it could be a tough road when it heads to the Senate. And that does it for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Still have news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye.